Good evening, Dr. Robinson, and good evening, class. This is the fourth and final video journal that'll be turned in. And in this journal, well, in this assessment, we talked about privacy. And one may ask, what is privacy? Well, according to Black's Law Dictionary, privacy is a set of secret surveillance and protection of an individual's information without the consent of the individual. And I guess you can say like privacy follows under four torts, and tort is a misuse of the law against a person or their property, and that can also be found in the Black's Law Dictionary as well. And there are four main torts of privacy, and I'm gonna list them. And they're deformation or false light, intrusion of privacy, misappropriation or likeness of like a name, and public disclosure of embarrassing facts. And also in this assessment, we talked about libel and slander and what is a public figure versus a private figure. And according to Black law as well, a person with fame or notary law in a community and is involved in affairs is considered a public figure. Well, you can use that maybe like a police officer is considered a public figure. Um, like that's an example of a public figure. Also, we talked different court cases we're talking about in this assessment as well. And the test, I feel like I did really good on this past test and this assessment because I understood more of what privacy was, and the court cases that we talked about. Like for example, in class, when we put up the key facts on the board, and we did the Cliff versus Narragansett TV case, and that was the case when the police were surrounding Bruce Cliff's house before like the guy was on a phone call with a TV reporter, and it was like 6 o'clock, and the TV reporter published she exposed a conversation, and the guy ended up killing himself. That's the sum of the case, and um, it was a lot had going on, and the court initially ruled in favor of the TV station, saying, but then emotional distress, wrongful death, and negligence were like the wrongdoings of that case. And also within the case of the test question we had with the ex-UNC instructor John Dye, um, that dealt with privacy as well. And the guy tried to flee across the country in order to avoid turning himself in. And also within this, I learned how to I researched things like within the UNC system and the Fourth Amendment rights to help get this case solved. And the Fourth Amendment talks about searches and seizures, and you need probable cause and a warrant to search someone. And within this case, a guy used university computers to store evidence surrounding a girl, and within this, the police had found suspicion against him. The wife walked in with the man having sex with a minor, and there was over 450 images or on the computer, which the university has a right to go through because it's sponsored by the state. Like you have privacy, but because it belonged to the state and the university, they had access to go look at whatever they did. And also, names of I learned in previous case classes of courses about why names aren't publicized in news stories, but I furthermore understood in this class by this section because it invades someone's privacy if say they were a victim of sexual assault. It's an invasion of their privacy, and they may not feel comfortable uh, uh, giving up any more facts about anything that could be useful to get a suspect. So by not including the name, they may feel more safe, and that's the real goal, to make a person feel safe, which is what this whole thing is about: a person's privacy. And we talked about court cases. One of the court cases I used in that was the Cox Broadcasting versus Khan, when Martin Khan's daughter was raped and killed, and the uh, the station put his daughter name out there, and that was violated Georgia privacy state. it violated Georgia's law, and they got sued. So basically, within this chapter, the torts and the Privacy Act of 1974 uh, regulated how the federal government collected and used personal data of citizens. That was also used. So within this whole section of privacy, I got a better understanding of what laws were. I even read a section where Jennifer Aniston. I remember reading about this where Jennifer Aniston was someone climbed over a wall by her house and took photos of her topless. That was an invasion of her privacy because, yet she was a celebrity, she still has some sort of privacy, being that she was at her home and she had a wall built up. And because the person had to go climb up the wall, that was an invasion of her privacy because that means she didn't want to be seen. And if a person wants to bathe or do whatever they want new in their own yard, they have a right to because of that privacy law. If they have walls up, then you can't go climb up a tree and take someone's photo or anything like that. So I feel like I really learned a lot about in this within this section, and hopefully I believe I'm ready for this final coming up. And but I really enjoyed this section. It was the best one I understood all year.